Hello everyone, happy to be back with all of you sharing some information you must know. Today I'm going to talk about the dominoes effect is causing the crypto collapse versus the dot-com crash in 2000 beginning in the mid 90s. Let me take you back in time to show you what happened starting in 1994-1995 when the dot-com bubble, also known as the dot-com boom. The tech bubble and the internet bubble was a stock market bubble caused by excessive speculation of internet related companies in the late 90s, a period of massive growth in the use and adoption of the internet. Remember, Bitcoin is not a digital coin, it is a software, it's a technology like Amazon, eBay, Priceline, and now Microsoft, Facebook, Google, and Apple. Just to mention some and many others, of course, that you already know. The biggest difference between now and the dot-com bubble is that Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, Google, Facebook now make up around 18% of the overall US stock market in terms of market cap, but nearly 25% in terms of profit. That in some point in time, these tech companies will eventually adopt Bitcoin. Sounds interesting, don't you think? And just as a reference, this article was posted on February 12, 2021. Let's take a look at the Nasdaq chart to see how long took the recovery from 2002 when price dropped 83% from the all-time highs in 2000. Took around 13 to 14 years when in 2015 finally hit the 2000 all-time highs, and after in 2016 price finally break above to continue that I personally qualify like the new tech bubble and creation of Bitcoin. For how long dominoes effect will last to crash the majority of crypto? We need this collapse, like it or not. It is necessary for the well-being of the growth of adoption of Bitcoin. Why the crash could benefit crypto businesses in the long term? This is not what I want, but much less. Big players must go to zero for using too much leverage in Bitcoin, and when that happens, we will learn the lesson. But the list is huge, and here are some of them, like Terra Luna collapse, Celsius post withdrawals, 3AC liquidation, call order, Voyager Digital files for bankruptcy. During the dot-com crash, many online shopping companies such as Pets.com, Webvan, and BOO.com, as well as several communication companies such as WorldCom, Northpoint Communication, and Global Crossing fell and shut down. What companies survived dot-com crash? With the spectacular rise and subsequent crash of many of the dot-com companies, few were left standing after the dust had settled, like Amazon, eBay, Booking Holdings, formerly Priceline.com, Shutterfly, Coupons.com. Why did so many dot-com companies fail? Many had made the case that the dot-com era was doomed to failure simply because there were too many companies chasing what at the time were too few users. When the bubble burst in 2000, there were only around 400 million people online worldwide. How many internet users are there in the world 2021? In 2021, the number of internet users worldwide was an estimated 4.9 billion, up from 4.6 billion in the previous year. This is a huge difference between now and then. The dot-com crash was triggered by the rise and fall of technology stocks. The growth of the internet created a buzz among investors who were quick to pour money into startups companies. These companies were able to raise enough money to go public without a business plan, product, or track record of profit, such as November 13, 1998, the globe.com goes public and soared 606% that day, closing at $63.50. But guess what? April 23, 2001, the globe.com is delisted and closed at 60 cents. This was incredible. Here in Investopedia page, you can find more information about the companies who survived the dot-com crash I mentioned before and what they did to survive, such as Amazon.com, eBay, Booking Holding, formerly Priceline, Shutterfly, Coupons.com. The bottom line, in the last half of the 90s, the internet was a relatively new animal, and the businesses that sprung to life did so with ambition, hope, and at times shaky business plans. You can find the link in the description section down below. Here in the International Banker page, you will find interesting information about the dot-com bubble burst in 2000, and here is some interesting information. You can find the link in the description section down below as well. Nasdaq index went from 751 in January 1995 to a peak of 5,048 on March 10, 2000, but the bubble eventually burst in March 2000. Arguably, the bubble began with the first public issuance of shares from an internet company, the web browser developer Netscape, which staggered an initial public offering IPO on August 9, 1995. The stock was listed at $28 on the first morning of the offering and soon hit $58 on that day, meaning that its market capitalization sat above 2.5 billion. The success of Netscape IPO was hugely influential in encouraging other internet startups founders to take their own companies public. And here is very interesting information that I want to share with you. Has such most companies that issued shares through IPOs during the dot-com era ended up being excessively overvalued, and it was hit a valuation that ultimately culminated in a massive bubble of dot-com stock. In 1996, 677 companies in the United States went public. This was followed by 474 in 1997, 281 in 1988, 476 in 1999, and 380 in 2000. And by 1999, 39% of the all venture capital investments were for internet companies. But with the bubble having burst in 2000, only 80 companies went public in 2001. Of course, some startups companies were successful, having gone public during this period, but their success and the fortunes made by their founders only fueled the dot-com frenzy even more. By the way, do you know how many cryptocurrencies are out there? Well, this article was published on March 25th, 2022. By the end of 2013, there were over 50 different cryptocurrencies, and by the end of 2014, this figure had increased by approximately 10 times to over 500. Today, there are over 18,000 cryptocurrencies in circulation. This is huge. So now you have a better understanding, I really hope so, why it's so important for Bitcoin going down in price. Number one, to get a better price to enter, of course. Number two, some of the big players must go to zero to learn the lesson. Sorry. And number three, have a crypto bubble burst like happened in .com in 2000. If you're still here, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. That way you are showing me your appreciation for the time I took to share this important information with you, and you will help the channel to grow. And finally, the number 4, why is it important for Bitcoin to drop below maybe 10K? This will help to flush out the majority of crypto to go to zero, and this will help to make stronger to those who really have potential grow. Thank you so much to stay with me until the end of the video, and with this I'm signing out. Thank you and have a wonderful night. Bye bye.